everybody, it's Christine. It is day 28 of 30 Days of Sketches with Christy's Beautiful Life, with 31 sketches this month because it's 31 days in the month and we get a bonus. So this sketch was created by Angela Velasquez, and it's, she's got by Angela Serendipity Art, so she may have a YouTube channel. I haven't gone and looked, to be honest with you. It's a little blurry on my screen, so I don't know if it's me or what, but there's a diagonal plaid, and then she's got 3 4x6 photos. It looks like there's an embellishment right here, and then obviously a lot of little banners up here with some embellishments going on. I'm thinking I'm seeing either there's horizontal paper behind the photos or there's a piece of something. I'm not really certain. I'm gonna interpret that as pattern paper. So I want to show y'all something though, y'all. I was looking and looking and looking for vertical photos. I don't have a ton of vertical photos. So I found, I say that, I don't have a ton of older vertical photos. I have a lot of newer vertical photos, but I'm trying to do, I was kind of working on some old photo stuff. So I found these 3 of my daughter. It's 2003, so she would have been 5, and my mother-in-law was dressing her up. They were playing some kind of little dress up. I don't know if it's Christmas, because there's a big box of stuff back here too. If I had to guess, no, it's February. I don't know what the point of this was, but because she was always buying little things anyways. So she was dressing her up, and I had a picture. It was horizontal though, with a little crown on it, but it was a little princess dress. And I thought that was so cute. And I looked and looked and looked in my current collections that I've gotten from my various little monthly kits, and I couldn't find anything. So I went over to my stash, and I have a little envelope here I call Girls, and I pulled it out, and y'all, I had forgot. Y'all know those times that you think you forgot all about what something you had in your stash, and I'm like, oh, these are so cute. I have a diagonal plaid. I had this cute stinking paper by Echo Park called Perfect Princess. Lori Whitlock was the designer. Adorable, adorable, adorable. I'm gonna try to make these work together. And then I have, honestly, y'all, this I found. I'm not going to use this, but it's called Magical Unicorns Dress My Craft. Look at all these little unicorn deals. Look at all that. Is that not the cutest thing? I've got to figure out a way to use some of that. I don't know. I also had something called Stay Magical, and this one's 4.5 by 7. Now, why would I ever have that kind of size paper is beyond me, but look at all that. I don't know why. But anyways, I had all that, and I have a ton of little, like, brads and ephemeras and stuff. And then, so anyway, I'm going to use that. I did get my stash also for a piece of purple cardstock. I never ever use purple, or hardly ever use purple. I'm going to bet most of y'all don't. And then, of course, I had some sticker sheets I think I can pull out of here. Just tons of stuff to work with in my little envelope. So I was kind of excited about it. So that's what I'm going to start with here, y'all. Give me just a second. I'm going to start trimming some things down, and I will come back on. But I don't think this is actually going to take me that long, because you don't have to trim your photos, really. And, you know, it's kind of an easy little sketch. Couple of little things. So just these banners might take me just a minute, but other than that, I don't think it's going to take that long. So anyway, let me cut a few little things and I'll come back on. Okay, everybody, quick check-in. I have trimmed down my diagonal plaid here and mounted it on the purple cardstock. I did gut it, and then I used that purple to just mount my photos. And so they're going to go here. Now, what I also did is I took that adorable little paper with the little fairies and little houses. Now, I have cut this. I know I can recognize right now that I'm, I think, way taller than the sketch. But I'm okay with that. So what I'm going to have gone on here is this is going to go kind of like this, right? And then I was actually looking at this polka dot, and I flipped it over, and I went, oh, look at that cute little border. I don't know how this whole layout is just magically coming together. How funny is that, right? So I'm going to go ahead and put my photos like this. You know, kind of, because they're a little bit wonky in the sketch. So I'm going to do the wonky wonk. And we're going to do that. I'm going to put this one on foam too, by the way. And then I trim this. I think I'm going to use this maybe down here. If not, I'll find, I think I'm going to use this. I'm not sure, because it's a little darker in the sketch, but I don't have anything else out, and I really don't want to cut another piece of paper. So I think I am going to use this, or I might put it underneath. Or, I don't know, y'all. I may end up putting a little piece of washi tape, because I have some with like sparkles on it, and that could be totally cute. So I'm going to glue this stuff down. I'm going to come back on in a second when I start. I'm trying to, on this banner situation here, I'm thinking I'm going to get into my stickers, I think. I haven't really looked at this close enough, because I don't know. There's some banners. I need to cut the banners, I guess. So let me get into that too. I may use I don't know, y'all. I got to get into this. Okay, let me glue this stuff down. I'll come back on when I start kind of messing with banners and embellishments and stuff like that. All right, we'll talk soon. Well, I lied. I decided to go ahead and come back on when I was gluing down this stuff because I realized if I waited until after I glued all this stuff down, my gosh, half the layout would be done. So I went ahead and started again with the gluing of the photographs. So again, as I mentioned, I'm just going to glue these photographs. I did glue my little princess banner thing down there. And I'm going to put this particular picture here up on foam. Now, I do end up doing the banners up top. I wasn't 100% sure. I kept thinking, would I just use a sticker or whatever? But I do use the banners up top. And I think that's where she intended the title to go. Although I say that, she almost has two opportunities for title because the banner section has like a little round medallion-y looking thing, I think, with maybe a title. But then also over the left-hand photo, she has something that says noted. And I guess technically you could have your title there. So I'm going to end up with essentially a title and then like a subtitle. Let's call it that. Okay, so here's where I'm going to start cutting my banners. I'm just off camera for a second because I'm cutting these strips of this little floral. And I'm going to cut a floral and I'm going to cut like a star, pointy star looking thing, North Star looking thing. And I'm going to cut like a little blue swirl. And those did come out of the same collection. I think it's called Princess, Pretty Princess or something like that. It's an Echo Park collection. I went and pulled these out of the stash here. And I'm going to end up cutting these. I look at that, there it is, that little star paper and then that little blue paper. And I'll make my banners out of this. And I'm going to cut away in just a second because you don't need to sit there and watch me do all that. I cut out a little too much of the little floral there, which is okay. I mean, you know, I hate to say it's better to have too much than not enough, but that's kind of true. I mean, I almost hate that I had cut it, but at the same time I did need them, or I needed a lot of it. So anyway, I'm cutting these little banners, then I'm going to start cutting the little points, and you'll see that. I just kind of snip up the middle and then cut from the sides. You'll see me kind of start that, and then I'm going to cut away because that's boring. That's just all I do for the rest of those pieces. And now I've got them all glued down there, and I'm going to come around with my cutter and just trim off that top there. And I do that like when I'm not sure how long stuff's supposed to be, I'll kind of go off the top and then, or bottom or whatever you're doing, and then trim off the pieces. Now, I looked at that after I did this, and I thought, should I have come to the plaid? But my sides go all the way outside to the edge of the paper. So I thought, no, I'm just going to leave it alone. I'm just going to leave it alone. Now, here's where I'm going to pick out my title. And I decided to make it, You are such a pretty girl. Now, pretty comes off and girl comes, everything looks awesome until I realize URA is what's on the little yellow banner that I pick here. And then I realized you can't have URA such a. That wouldn't make a sense as a sentence. So I'm going to rearrange this just a little bit, and I'm going to end up covering up the A on the little yellow Archie banner with the such banner piece, if that makes sense. So it's still going to say, You are such a pretty girl. And I'm kind of happy with this, actually. I mean, it looks a little bit, I don't know. I think it just looks like two little banners kind of coming across. I'm not unhappy with it. I'm going to stick with it, and that's what it ends up being. I started to stick girl down, and then I realized, no, you need to be on foam tape. You need to be up off the word pretty. And I'm going to end up putting a little foam tape underneath there. Now, I'm going to come over on the left-hand side in just a moment, and that's where that little subtitle section is going to be. And I'm going to call that, it's going to say Fairy Tale Daughter. And I'm going to end up having to move stuff around on that one too because I can't, I don't get it right at first. So here's where I'm going to go over to, well, maybe not. Maybe I do the bottom right first. Now I can't remember what order I did this thing in. But I do end up with something on the upper left up there where that noted was on the sketch. And then I'll end up with the lower right down there where honestly, mine ends up way bigger than her sketch showed. It just really does. I start with this little fairy. She's so cute. She's got blonde hair, so it's not what we normally use, but it's okay. She's cute enough. And then I decide, you know what? I'm hardly ever probably going to have a chance to use this darn carriage. So I go, you know what? I'm going to stick it on this layout here. So I put the little carriage down there with the little fairy. And then here's where I'm picking my subtitle where it says Fairy Tale Daughter. I'm going to end up rearranging that just a little bit. I was trying not to cover up the heads of the little princesses. So I was coming across horizontally there. But I will reorganize that just a tad. So I'm going to put my little, I found these little butterflies and I thought these were cute. I started kind of figure out where to go that, and I go, no, it's going to have to go up. But this is where I decide I don't like how that's laying, and I need to do something. I'm going to put that on foam, the word daughter on foam, and then after I do that, I'm going to realize I can't put you there. You're going to cover up all the heads. So I'll move my fairy tale up just a little bit. Now, I'm going to eventually get out my little sequins here. So the little baggie of sequins that I get, it comes as a little thank you Anna always sticks a little bag of sequins when you get an order from Peacecraft Love. She sticks a little bag of sequins in her as a little thank you. And I was really pleased to find this little bag. I have a little stack of them over here because, of course, I make my fair share of orders. And I had found this little set of like purples. And I was kind of pleased because there's a little red flower in there that matches the little flower on the little fence in the pattern of the little houses behind the photos. It's kind of hard to see, and I don't know if you'll even notice it, but there is a little white picket fence on the little houses, and there's a little red flower, so the sequins kind of match. And all I'm going to do with these sequins here, y'all, is I'm going to take my little jewel picker, and I'm going to take my glue, and I'm just going to kind of randomly splotch dots. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say, of glue. I'm just going to stick it around kind of a little bit randomly around my areas here to give it a little bit of fun, you know, just a little bit of whimsy and fun, and it does match, so I was really happy with that. There's a little bit of like little facets cut into some of the sequins and things, so you get a little bit of shimmer too. And I just kind of go around, and I'll cut away, because I did cut away. I guess I've cut away already and then come back. And I put it in each of the 3 embellishment clusters, just so you know. And then that's all I'm going to do. I thought about a little bit of white splatter. Nope, since I did the sprinkles, I'm not going to do that. And there you go. I'm going to slow that down so you can see it. Isn't that cute? I thought that turned out so. I was really pleased to find that set of papers. So anyway, thanks so much for watching day 28. Make sure you check out the playlist. There are so many people playing along, and they are just so talented. And then check out the Instagram. There's a hashtag 30DSCBL10. And also, if you could like and subscribe, I'd greatly appreciate it. I'm going to start planning a hop for 1,000 subbies, and I'm really excited about it. Anyway, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.